Welcome to Lesson 14D, Filters Part 3, Miscellaneous. I grouped several miscellaneous discussions about filters into this video. Let's talk about pleated filters first. Here's a whole bunch of examples, and you've seen plenty of these. Furnace filters, air filters for car engines and lawnmower engines, vacuum cleaner filters. What these have in common is that the filter is actually in some kind of a zigzag pattern. Why does that make any difference? Well, let's compare a filter in a standard configuration, some airspeed U0 coming in, and the filter thickness being L. Now suppose we take that same filter and we pleat it. Sorry that this isn't a very good sketch, but what I'm trying to do is show that we have the same L as we have in this case, but now there's an effective L that's much bigger. We can call this L actual and this L effective. So you get effectually a longer filter or a thicker filter when you pleat it. And in some of these, the pleat is actually very tight. For example, here when the air comes in, the effective L is actually quite large compared to the little tiny L of this individual filter. There are a couple advantages of doing this. First of all, structurally, it's more stiff or rigid. And most importantly, when you have a large L effective, you get a much higher grade efficiency of the filter. In other words, better performance. Now let's talk briefly about face mask classification. The three most common classifications are these: N95, 99, and 100. And here's some typical pictures of each. NIOSH standards are as follows in this table. They have three main categories: non-oil resistant, oil resistant, and oil proof. N95 has been in the news a lot lately because of coronavirus, especially when coronavirus first came out and the hospitals were short on N95 masks. Of course, they could have used N99 or N100, but those would be much more expensive. N95 is very common, and there was a shortage at first. The rating corresponds to the percent removal of airborne particles. So 95 means 95%, 99, 99, and 100 is kind of a misnomer. It means 99.97, not actually 100. No filter is 100% efficient. Now, this table doesn't show particle size that they're measuring, but after a little bit of research, I found that it's actually in this dip that we talked about. Typically, they're measuring particles in that range, and they use different ranges like these on some of these filter classifications. So the idea being, as I've said before, if a filter is doing a good job in the dip, it should also be doing good everywhere else at every other particle diameter. There are also things called layered filters, which is really just two or more filters in series. This is an example I found online. There's a micro pre-filter that's disposable, and then a fabric filter that's disposable, and then a HEPA filter that's replaceable, but you don't call that disposable. These are supposed to last a long time. And generally, as you go through, we get the worst performing filter at the back and the better performing filter at the front here. So the particles hit the worst one first and then the better one last. Worst typically also means least expensive, and better means most expensive. And it makes sense to do it that way rather than the other way. If you put the HEPA filter first in the back in this diagram, the air is coming kind of out of the page here. Your HEPA filter would clog very quickly. So what you'd rather do is have a cheap paper filter back here that collects a lot of these big particles and starts clogging more quickly. By the time it gets to the HEPA filter, only the smallest particles remain, and those are collected by the HEPA filter. Briefly, there's also something called a silver ion filter, and other metals can be used, copper and brass. But some of these metals actually have a property that they can kill bacteria and viruses on contact. So a different kind of layered filter, you'd have a HEPA filter here. Even upstream of this, you'd have some cheaper air filters like in this upper diagram. And then you'd have a HEPA filter, and then you'd have a silver ion filter. The idea being that some of these bigger particles and dust mites and things are caught in the HEPA filter, and some of the bacteria and viruses are killed when they go through the silver ion filter. The artists made these bacteria smaller and the viruses smaller when they went through the filter. That's not what happens. Some of these guys die when they go through the filter. They don't get smaller. Then finally, I want to mention activated carbon or charcoal filters. These are used in water and in air. These are designed mostly for removing gases from the air, not particles, but they do remove some particles just from the physical nature of how they're put together like a filter. I have this article here that you can read on your own. I'm not going to read everything. I just highlighted some sentences here. Activated carbon works by adsorption, not absorption, adsorption, where the molecules actually get trapped inside the atomic structure of the carbon. The surface area is huge. 1 pound of activated carbon contains a surface area of approximately 100 acres, which is pretty amazing. So the air pollutant molecules get trapped inside the atoms of this carbon. And I mentioned that these carbon filters also filter out particles just by the way they're designed, and they look like a regular filter except they're typically black. But they'll remove particles typically from 0.5 to 50 microns. But that's not why you use these carbon filters. You use them mostly for odors and other gases in the air. Where do you find these? In any kind of purification process, for example, air conditioning units, exhaust fans, anywhere you want to get rid of tobacco smoke and other kind of odors like odors from animals, etc. Here's a humorous application. There's a company that actually makes a flatulence odor control underwear product. To be blunt, it's supposed to cover up the smell of farts.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Well, you need it more than I do. I'm going to order one right now. No, you don't. Yes, I do.
I must admit that I've never tried wearing one of these, so I can't tell you whether they work or not, but I had a good chuckle when I saw this. There's a lot of surface area on the carbon, but eventually these bonding sites fill up, and then you have to replace the filter. But these can last for a long time, so you can read that over yourself. It's an interesting article.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.